One of the things that makes Canvas so unique from either Blackboard or Moodle is the fact that it provides multiple entry points into your course as well as into the different learning modules that you provide your students with. Here on the Dashboard tab, you can see that there's course cards, and a student can click on the course card to arrive on the home page for your course. Also listed here on the Dashboard tab are the different upcoming assignments, quizzes, or discussion boards that are going to be graded. And so a student can jump directly into any one of these elements that are part of a learning module. Or you can see we have one element from one learning module and another element for another learning module. The idea of having a cohesive learning module where students are always aware of the beginning, middle, and end can sometimes be lost in Canvas because it's chopped up so well, allowing students to come in at any one particular point that sometimes they can lose sight of the big picture. The Calendar tab will also allow students to come in to any particular graded assignment, quiz, or discussion board. If they click, for example, on the 02A journal, you can see that this brings them right into the journal activity and they can start on it right away. However, when students come into a particular activity, they may not know what are the other elements within that particular learning module. Let's come into Canvas, what I think of as a more traditional route, where we're going to use the course card that takes us then to a home page. And then they would click on modules. By clicking on modules, the students would see each of the different modules that the instructor has made visible. And in addition to that, all the elements that are part of that module. You can see that Canvas organizes the module with a beginning and a middle and an end. And in fact, if I click on one of the elements, such as reading to discover, and scroll to the bottom, Canvas provides both a next and a previous. If I click next, it will then take me to the next page, and that's how I'd work my way through this particular learning module. All right, so going back to the Calendar tab, here's what I think is really cool. Students are going to be aware of what they need to do in our classes in terms of what's going to be graded. But there are a lot of things that they need to do in our classes, such as the reading assignments and lectures, that do not appear on this calendar page. And if the students use the links to go directly into one of our modules, they may lose sight of the other aspects that contribute to this learning module. For example, in this module that I have, applying the scientific method and sharing results, there's an instructor's notes that provides a heads up. There's the reading assignment. There's lecturettes help the student. There's the optional recorded class lessons, a self-evaluation, quiz, journal. There's a wholeness to the entire module that makes sense. And my concern with how Canvas has set things up is that our course can quickly become a to-do list rather than a more whole experience of learning and then using what we've learned to carry out activities and learn further from having done those activities. Okay, so to address this issue, what I have done is in each of the different elements of my module, I've added an intra-module navigation. And so what I've done here is I provide the module's name, I've provided a link to each of the pages, and in this way, the student, when they come in, for example, from the calendar, they can see all of the module in its entirety in terms of each of the pages. And so they're not just stuck on one element, having to use that previous and next button to try to get around. They can actually jump wherever they want within the learning module, for example, going to the instructor's notes. All right, so how is this accomplished? I'll go ahead and hit the edit button here. And what I did is I inserted a line going across the page, and I typed in module, colon, and then the name of the module, which was italicized, this in a brown font to make it stand out. And then I typed in instructor's note with a link to this same page here. I typed in reading to discover, created a link to the reading to discover page, typed in lecturettes, and so on. So I typed in each one of these and then turned it into a link. Let me show you how that might be done here for the quiz. So I'll delete where it says quiz, type in quiz. I'm going to highlight quiz. And now if I want to create a link that's going to persist beyond a single semester, that is, it's going to be there from semester to semester. Each time I do the course copy, I have to use this right-hand menu. So I'm going to click on quizzes, and I'll go ahead and find the quiz for this learning module Here it is, 028 quiz. Click to insert the link, and now there's a link. So I had to do that for every single one of these links here. If I go over to the HTML editor and I scroll down, here is the HTML code for putting in a line. There's no way to have a line go across your page without clicking on the HTML editor and typing this in. And everything below that line, that represents all my links. So I've highlighted it. I'm going to say copy. I'm done. And now I could go over to the next page. After I've made all those links, I don't want to have to remake them every single time. So I go to my next page, click Edit, go to HTML Editor, and let's say I change one of the links on one page. I'd have to then go through all the different pages, highlight from my line, which is at HR/. I'm going to paste right over it, and that would overwrite my previous links that I used. And so in this way, on one page of my module, I create the links to every single page, and then from there on, I just copy and paste it. And if I make any changes, I make the change on one page, and then I copy and paste the whole thing onto each page within the module. The benefit of this is that students don't just get lost on a single element within your module, but they can always see the full navigational menu for that module and be able to jump around anywhere they need to go.